Let me start off by saying I love this manga anime. I was first introduced to the series by a video made by the Masked Man, and I decided to give it a try through the anime. And I gotta say, it got me pretty hooked. After completing my watch of the anime, I would say this is a story about friendship, a story about brotherhood, a story about revenge. Hanagaki Takemichi, who due to unknown circumstances gained the ability to go back in time, an ability I seriously wish I had. He uses this ability to try to save his middle school girlfriend, Tachibana Hinata, who in the present day had died in a car accident. Soon, he finds out that some series of events are the cause of her untimely demise, so in order to prevent this from happening, he decides to join the Tokyo Manji gang. And here's where it gets interesting. The goal is to follow Takemichi on his journey to save Hinata by joining the Tokyo Manji gang to get close to Mikey in order for Toman not to turn evil so that Hinata will not be killed in the future. Along the way, he meets the various members of Toman. Ryuguji Ken, also known as Draken. He was the first person he needed to save in order for Mikey not to turn evil. So, on his journey to save Draken, we learn a bit about his character. Draken is sort of like Mikey's conscience. He's more matured and more understanding of certain issues which Mikey might brush off or judge wrongly. And due to the nature of being in a gang and not wanting to appear weak, Mikey would have to take certain decisions as a leader, which if not controlled, might lead to the downfall of the gang. And this is where Draken shines the most, as a friend, as a brother, the right-hand man. He's Mikey's second and he is there to give Mikey insight, help Mikey shoulder the burdens of being a leader by taking up those burdens upon himself. Without Draken, Mikey falls to his woes and seems to have nothing to cling on and is forced to carry the burden of being a leader all by himself, which if not controlled can ruin him. Takemichi's mission got him closer to both Mikey and Draken. He became good friends with those two, but with the gang matters arising and the fateful day of August 3rd approaching, Toman was going to have to fight Mobius. But that's the day Draken dies. And without Draken to keep Mikey grounded, Toman is going to turn evil, and Hinata is going to end up dead by the hands of Akun. Takemichi is weak. He's a loser and a crybaby. And due to this, he suffers greatly for it. I had a discussion with my cousin, Michael, from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier video about Takemichi's character, and he did seem to like the character because during our watch of the show, Takemichi seems to be only good for one thing, which is crying. He cries a lot due to his lack of strength, and from a show with no superpowers except for their time travel abilities, Takemichi really comes up short and gets his ass handed to him over and over again. It's really sad. I made a comparison of Takemichi to Midoriya, and Michael made a statement which really stuck with me. He was like, even though Midoriya can be a crybaby sometimes and always second guess himself, he always answers the call to action, and it really got me thinking. His dislike for Midoriya was due to the fact that he has the greatest power in the show, yet he still whines and second guesses his abilities. But in the end, he does what he needs to do. But in the case of Takemichi, he fails over and over and over again. He's weak.
You're still too weak. You don't have enough hate.
In the first arc, all he needed to do was to protect Draken. Technically, Draken survived, but he still failed nonetheless. He initially failed to protect Draken from getting stabbed. He failed to get Draken to the hospital. He was able to take down Kiyomasa due to his determination, but Draken almost died. He was lucky to survive, but he almost died nonetheless. Takemichi is weak, and due to this, it makes it hard for him to make any changes with his second chance. His second chance to save them all. So why a character like Takemichi? Well, usually every shonen protagonist has his redeeming attributes which makes them endearing, which goes along the lines of never giving up or having a strong will to achieve something or the power of friendship. But what's with Takemichi? He does have the strong will to never give up, but in the end, he still comes up short. After reading the manga because I couldn't wait for the anime to catch up, I noticed something about Takemichi's character. It seems to me the author wrote him in a way that he's too weak to change anything. But even with the usual shonen anime protagonist trope of never giving up, he still comes up short. Because even with no hope of victory, he still tries to hold on for just a bit longer. Even if he could make the slightest change, or make things change even just a little, he has won. And that is what makes him enduring. And it happens over and over and over. And over again in the manga. The main point of Takemichi is to inspire, just like the way Shinichiro inspired his gang when he was the leader of the Black Dragons. Fast forward, even though Takemichi saves Draken, Tachibana Hinata dies. Akun once again is the cause of Takemichi's demise. But why does this keep happening? He saved Draken, so everything is supposed to be better now, right? Why did nothing change? The answers lie in the next arc, the Bloody Halloween arc, which introduced me to some of my favorite characters in the series so far. Chifuyu, Matsuno, Kisuke, Baji, and Kazutora. If there was going to be someone who held the title of best boy, it would be Chifuyu. Just like Takemichi, he kind of weirded me out first time you see him because he just got his ass kicked and he was acting all cool and stuff. But Chifuyu became one of my favorite characters as the story progressed, and if Takemichi ever had a best friend, it would be Chifuyu. He decided to help Takemichi on his mission to save Baji, and they have been together ever since. Takemichi had other friends before he joined Toman, and they have been following him after he joined Toman. They even joined Takemichi after he became the leader of the first division. They are his day one squad, but they only proved to be there due to Takemichi knowing them before they joined the gang, and they kind of look up to him due to the fact that he was able to join Toman and become captain. He was their crybaby hero. So yeah, he goes way back with these guys, but with Chifuyu, it started out like a partnership. Chifuyu was more than a partner for Takemichi. He was a friend, way more than anyone in the entire series. He was the one who stood by Takemichi through thick and thin, and it just made me love his character so much more. Well, he did it for Baji, but you can understand because Baji is so cool. He proved his friendship over and over and over again for Takemichi. I was really impressed with the loyalty of his character. He was like the best friend anyone could ever ask for. He believed Takemichi when no one wouldn't, stood by his side when all seems hopeless, gave him hope when he lost all hope. He was a friend when Takemichi thought he needed no friends and he could do it alone. He was even there for him when Takemichi fell off, to being there when Takemichi came back. P.S. All this will make sense in the future, so don't worry. The last thing I wanted to talk about was Kazutora and Baji. Kazutora and Baji's backstory is really sad. When I first watched it, what got me was the look on Baji's face after he saw Mikey. He was so sad you could almost feel it. The tears filling his eyes before he could completely utter the words. Mikey! The whole event was really sad. It all started with good intentions. It was Mikey's birthday. They wanted to do something for their friend, get him what he always wanted. Kazutora always liked the hardcore gang stuff as hinted as prior, so he came up with a brilliant idea to steal the bike Mikey always wanted. Baji had second thoughts, but Mikey was his best friend. He would do anything to see him happy. Kazutora also loved and respected Mikey in his own way and wanted to do something nice for him. To him, the process didn't matter because the end always justifies the means. Mikey didn't have to know, as long as he's happy. But as fate would have it, they were caught in the process by none other than Shinichiro. He first noticed Baji and decided to let his guard down, but Kazutora attacked swiftly, defending his friend. With Baji, since he knew Shinichiro, he let his guard down, and he knew he would receive a scolding at best. And if they were to be caught by anyone, Shinichiro was one of the coolest guys he knew. Until Kazutora attacks. What just happened? How could this be happening? Shinichiro is Mikey's elder brother, and now he is dead because of them. He is dead because they tried to steal a bike from Mikey for his birthday. But Baji did not despair. If he could save Shinichiro, he would. He tried to call an ambulance, but Shinichiro wasn't breathing. As the cops came to send them off to Julie, he sees Mikey. Okay, let's run it back. Kazutora saw his friend Baji in danger and decides to protect his friend. After all, they were doing something illegal, and if they are caught, they will surely be arrested. He decides to protect his friend from the hooded figure, the one hindering them from their prize, the one who poses a threat to his friend. He can save his friend by destroying their enemy. He can be the hero. But unbeknownst to Kazutora, the enemy was Shinichiro. He had no idea he was Mikey's brother, like he wouldn't have attacked. He thought he was protecting his friend. Why the hell is this happening? He just wanted to get something nice for Mikey, so what the hell is going on? At that moment, Kazutora became traumatized. Implicitly, Potential spoke on trauma in his Loki video and stated that trauma is when you lose authorship of your own life because of an event so painful you can't consolidate it into your self-identity. Because Kazutora couldn't accept that he was the one who killed Shinichiro, the brother of Mikey, of whom he cared about, he had to flip the script. The only way for his actions to make sense is if Mikey is the enemy. If Mikey is the enemy, then he did nothing wrong. If Mikey is the enemy, then all he did was protect his friend. If Mikey is the enemy, then he is a hero. That was the only thing that made sense to him at the time, and that's what he held on as not to fall into insanity and despair. What happened is very sad and tragic, and is written into both the lives of Kazutora and Baji. All they ever wanted was to make Mikey happy, and this scarred them for life. People tend to dismiss Kazutora's side of this due to how sad it is from Baji's perspective, but looking at it from Kazutora's perspective, you could see how messed up everything is. All because he didn't know and he thought he was doing the right thing. He never even stood a chance. The series as a whole really gave me something to enjoy and think about, and I really enjoyed the characters so much. I could go on and on talking about more of my favorite characters such as Mitsuya or Smiley and Angry, but I'll be sure to make those videos once the anime catches up to those arcs. Anyways, do you like Tokyo Revengers? Who are your favorite characters? Do you have a friend like Chifuyu? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and always remember guys, to keep moving forward.
Takemitsu-kun!